Hello, this is Pastor Mark. I welcome you to our children's Bible stories all about Joseph. Remember, part one was last week, and this is part two. Remember, we talked about how Joseph was very, very favored by his father, and all his brothers did not like that at all. I don't blame them. If one kid's getting favored, the other kids are legitimately angry. But nevertheless, God did pick Joseph to do something great. And God told Joseph in a dream that someday he was going to do something great and his brothers were going to be bowing down to him like he was royalty or something. Well, that was true. But Joseph should not have told his brothers that. He was young, he was arrogant. And he said, someday you guys are going to be bowing down to me. It was almost like a na 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 kind of thing, which of course ticked the brothers off. And that brings us to this story. The brothers just couldn't stand him. And they were out working, taking care of sheep. And their father, Jacob, he sent Joseph out to check on the guys. So Joseph comes out to check on the guys, making sure they're doing okay. And the brothers saw him coming and, here comes the dreamer. Oh, brother, what's he after now? And he came out and said, Dad told me to go check up on you. Well, that kind of ticked the older kids off. What's this little squirt doing checking up on us? Well, some of them came up with a bad plan. There was a rocky pit. And they said, look, let's dump this kid in the pit. Hey, and we will take his little jacket and we will do violence against this little kid. We'll teach him. So they grabbed Joseph, they threw him in a pit. Now, one brother, he might not have liked Joseph, but at least he had a little kinder heart. And he planned to pull Joseph out of the pit later. So he kind of winked at Joseph and said, I'll get you out later. But can you imagine brothers wanting to kill a brother? That's really kind of demented. But it shows just how angry these kids were. One, because dad favored him so much. And two, because, hey, he was a little arrogant in telling his brothers that someday he was going to be a hotshot because God told him so in a dream. If God tells you that, that's great. Keep it to yourself. You don't brag about it. And that's a lesson in this Bible story and a lot of others too. Sin leads to more sin. This kid was arrogant, which led his brothers to want to sin against him. His father, Jacob, favored a son over the others. Even if he did favor it, he should have kept it to himself. He didn't have to show it by all he did. That leads to more sin. And so, at the end of this Bible story, you've got Joseph, the one who God has said is going to be a big shot someday. He's stuck in a pit. His brothers are planning to kill him. And he's got one brother who says, look, I'll rescue you later. Well, what do you think's going to happen? Is he going to be able to rescue Joseph before the other brothers try to kill him? Is he going to be stuck in the pit the rest of his life? What's going to happen? Well, that I'll tell you all about next week in part 3 of the Bible stories of Joseph. This is Pastor Mark with this summer's Bible stories. I do hope you enjoy them. I do hope that you like, comment, and share. All I want more people to watch our stories together. I hope you are not like Joseph being a bragger. I hope you are not like Joseph's brothers who get together and say, we're going to take care of that guy. I do hope you might be like Reuben. Even if he hated Joseph, he didn't want to see violence come to him. Let's all try to be Reuben. Less like Jacob, who favors a child. Less like Joseph the bragger. And less like the older brothers, who are willing to do violence because they can't control their tempers. Let's all be trying, anyway, to be Reubens. This is Pastor Mark. Thank you for listening to the story. May God bless you this week.